What's up, Capoeiristas? What's up, Capoeira Nation? Welcome back to the Capoeira Experience Podcast. Thank you so much for coming back. And I'm finally back. I've been taking a little break, but I'm back with more dope-ass conversations with my friends, all my friends from the Capoeira community. Especially today, I had a Professor Malandro all the way from California. We talk about traditions of the Capoeira Regional. It's super, super cool. Very, very cool to get some information from somebody that knows, has a lot of knowledge from the Capoeira Regional and traditions from the Capoeira Regional directly from Mr. Bimba. We talk about some of the knowledge that he has about some movements and the booklet. I always get confused with outlet booklet for the Capoeira course, a Capoeira Regional course from Mr. Bimba, directly from Mr. Bimba. So we talk about the games that some of the Capoeira rhythms has, which Capoeira rhythm has game or games. We also have we talk about the information per level for the Capoeira Regional, and we talk about some really, really dope ass projects that he personally has, not just in California, but also the next move that he's making. So please listen to this episode, because this conversation is very, very dope, and you're going to get a lot of really, really cool information. He also is teaching online classes for the Capoeira rhythms on the berimbau, and is extremely crucial for you to learn some of these traditional, because this is going to keep you connected with the traditions from Capoeira Regional, which is one of the backgrounds or where our Capoeira today's days, the Capoeira that we practice today's days, Capoeira contemporánea, came from. So stay tuned for this. Enjoy this episode, because it's really, really nice, and this conversation was so cool and so nice that I didn't do the intro at the beginning, but the conversation was so nice and it was so cool. We had a really cool connection that I had to keep recording. Okay, so keep listening, stay tuned for more information, and keep training and supporting your Capoeira school, especially your Capoeira school and the Capoeira community. Okay, the heat is coming back, spring is around the corner, so it's time to start traveling. Thank you so much. Peace. Hey, what's up, man?
How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Good.
Yeah, I start recording now because it just makes it easy so I don't forget. One time I forgot and I have to start over.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
No problem. Mm-hmm.
How you been, man? Long time no see.
Oh, man, I've been good, been busy. I'm planning to, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but planning to relocate to Atlanta.
Oh, really cool, man.
Yeah.
I want to be closer on this side.
Yeah, I'll be there, or I'll make the move during the summer.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Because of work?
There'll be more work for me.
More opportunities
in film,
Nice, man.
Just because the few films that I was already in, and just made connections. And then I've gone back like annually just to do stunt training. And my cousin, who's a martial artist, and he also does capoeira, he recently bought a building. So I'll be teaching capoeira and establishing my Filishi Bimba branch there in his building, because they'll have floors of martial arts.
Yeah.
But then when I'm on the other side, I'll be like, doing casting calls and things like that, to be able to present capoeira in film in a new way that hasn't been, or the way that I see that I want it to be seen.
Yeah.
So
that's
not
dope,
just like,
man.
Yeah, not just like I'll be thug number 7 that does some cool capoeira moves. Like I have like stories that that are based on historical people, historical facts and situations.
Yeah.
That'll just put capoeira in a certain light to like educate the audience about what it is.
Totally.
But then
Yeah,
even
yeah.
other capoeiristas of that, for example, because we train a lot of
Yeah.
capoeira, and we train like for the roda, and there's the history of like capoeira was used as a form of self-defense, and then later on, then more of the rituals and instruments got added to it.
Yeah.
But you know, there is still like training that I've received where like you're using the capoeira resources as a self-defense, and I feel like that's very empowering.
Totally.
So I want to be able to show that, you know, so not everything where you get into a situation you can be like,
yeah. Like everybody say like,
yeah,
you know, like everybody that know you and be like, oh yeah, this is a martial art. Oh, so every time you're gonna get in a fight, you start doing the dancing part. It's like, no.
yeah,
No.
exactly. But there's some people who there's a desire for capoeiristas who are not necessarily being exposed to that aspect. Like, yeah, we sometimes have hard games and, you know, jogo voodoo and things, but we're talking about like, here's a situation. There's no, it's not capoeira against another capoeirista. It's like, what movements and training and resources do you have currently that you can use to de-escalate a situation? Or if there's no other way out, what can you use that you have physically available to you that can get you out of a situation and keep you safe and keep your loved ones safe?
Yeah. And on real life situation.
Yeah.
Nice.
And you know, that's my goal, not just to highlight of course there'll be like some cool choreography, but I also want to like really highlight that element of like malicia and like outsmarting, you know, the other person, rather than just like, you know, I'm the guy like Ip Man, I'm the guy that fights like 10 people and not you know, with everything and, you know, with its time, that could be a scene like that. But for the majority, it's like that malicia, like outwitting the other person, rather than if you don't have to fight, then why would you, you know?
Yeah, totally.
Especially if you're not like if you're a professional fighter, then yeah, that's your meal ticket.
Go for it. But
exactly.
But just the average person is not going to be professional fighter, you know.
Exactly, you know, or just like the average person doesn't. I feel like unless you are pushed and in a certain situation where it's like I have to go through this person in order to be safe and preserve, you know, my livelihood. Yeah, but not like the average person. Like, okay, I want you to do a cabezada to this person's face, you know.
Make them cry, and now it's time for you to run.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, so that's the thing that I'm like preparing in the meantime before the transition to Atlanta for that. But yeah, a lot of
awesome,
stories it's for the culture, so that Capoeiristas can watch this, support it, be proud, and not be like
100%.
Yeah, you know. So that's
and also have like capoeira on a better perspective than just the dancing martial art.
Exactly.
Yeah, that can help for many things. It's just not the cultural, but also the martial art aspect of capoeira that can also help you in the real life.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Are you thinking on leaving somebody? Well, I guess we can start rolling now. The conversation is actually pretty nice.
Yeah.
I can do an intern another time.
Yeah.
But are you trying to leave somebody in California there?
Yeah. My hopes, you know, I'm having, you know, already just like a meeting with the students. One, just to kind of, because I do have some advanced students, but the thing is that people have to be aware of like the responsibility, and rather than just like leave it on the shoulders of just like one person, or rather like have a group or a crew, and be like, you guys can switch off, or, you know, just so it's not all on one person. Because the difference with me and the majority of my students is like my life is capoeira, and all of the decisions that I make are centered around supporting my capoeira path. And the majority of students, you know, capoeira is a part of their life.
100%.
You know? Some students, you know, they come from a whole different city. Some students drive like over an hour.
Wow.
Some students, to drive over an hour and pass other capoeira schools in order to get to my you know,
that's cool though, because you know that lets you know that you're giving them the motivation that they are looking for, and that comes back again to, you know, is the student chooses the teacher or the instructor, whoever. And it's not just about like, oh yeah, this just comfortable for me, but at some point they're gonna give it up and they're not gonna come back to class. It's like it builds that loyalty, and then it feels better to go to a place where you're comfortable and you like to be there than just go to a place just because.
right, exactly.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So yeah, because it's completely different when somebody teaches because they want to teach, or teaching because they have to teach.
Right.
And then it's going to be completely different perspective for them too.
Yeah, and I just, as a teacher, I want to be mindful of the personality of the students.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah.
So we'll will be finalized pretty soon, like later this month. But you know, I'm all for supporting the students, and like I can give like lesson plans. I can check in, you know, FaceTime and Zoom, and like, okay, here's the material. But you know, at the end of the day, that person has to have the desire to have a good amount of energy, to be patient, you know, with students that may not necessarily be understanding for whatever reason, because it's different where someone is facilitating a class. By that, I mean, I'm going to do these movements and you guys behind me repeat the movements and follow me.
Yeah.
That's fine. But to like teach, like, hey, I want you to understand this movement in your own body enough to apply it to different situations.
Yeah.
That's actual teaching. And
I agree.
That takes a while to like trial and error, and then also be able to adapt to different learning styles from people. Some people, like, you can show them, and some people like you can tell them, you know. Some people,
everybody learns different.
Everyone is different.
Yeah. And it's cool that you mentioned that part, because I totally agree with that you know, you can stand in front of people and be like, well, you just copy all the movements. Actually teach is a totally different perspective. And it takes more patience, it takes more energy, and it's more dedication, and more, you have to be more aware of what you are going to say, how you are going to say it, because it's not just like, oh yeah, okay, Jinga, then Nahmada to the right, then Nahmada to the left. Okay, bye guys.
All right, we're sweating. Okay, good. All right.
Yeah. Good job, guys. High five. Yeah. It's cool to see the perspective from different person to see on that, because and I keep telling my students, you know, like, it's totally different when you take the class that you are going to teach a movement that is going to be for perspective or the game. And because sometimes the students are like, is this movement works for this? And I'm like, well, it depends.
I just piggybacking on that, I was teaching classes on Fridays at a different capoeira establishment, because this one, they pick a certain day, and then they will have like other teachers from other schools come in on that day and teach for the month. So January was my month, and we were working on Vingachivas. And like, if people check out like my Instagram, there's a lot of videos of me executing Vingachiva. Even this other guy, Brazilian, he like took the clip and was like, is this efficient? And he like did it on his like student. Yeah, it's efficient. He gets the seal of approval. So unofficially, Vingachiva has become like my go-to takedown.
Nice.
But anyway, just teaching Vingachiva. And then one other person was like, oh, you know, I'm smaller, so what happens if I'm wanting to do it on a bigger person? It's like, well, there's you execute the movement as best you can, want to stay close. These are like basic details that are across the board. But then the main thing is like disturbing the other person's base, their foundation. So they may or may not fall, But if you disturb their base enough, you can follow up with other stuff and keep them off balance in case plan A was to, do the takedown. Okay, well, they're taller than me, so I weren't able to like get both legs, but I have them stumbling a little bit. So then you follow up with something else to like really,
Hey, Capoeira
put them
Nation,
in
I'm very happy
checkmate.
to
So like
announce
focus
our
more on that
workshop
because
with
sometimes
Formanda
people will be like,
Coruja,
okay,
or also known
I
as
didn't get the
Formanda Joy,
takedown.
all the way
It
from
didn't
New
work.
York
Like,
on
no,
May
it did,
14th
but
here
it
in
just
Indianapolis,
worked up
hosted
until
by
this
us
point.
here
So
in the
now
capital city,
to that
Indianapolis,
point,
and this
what
is
do you do?
going to
Because
be
you
a
can do a
2
takedown on
hours
someone
full of capoeira.
and they
The
catch
first
themselves.
hour
Then
is
what?
going to be full,
And then what you do
class
next?
with Formanda Joy,
Exactly.
and
The
we are going
game
to
is going to
have
keep going.
right after
Yeah,
that
exactly.
full
And they
hour
follow
of
up of
our
whatever
us
other
moving,
movement, and
connecting, and
if the
playing
person gets
as
out,
much
and it's
as
just
you
so many
want and as
situations that
much
can
as
happen.
we can. The early
Exactly.
bird is
So you
going to
just have to
end
be, you
1
have
month
to commit
before the
to
workshop. Okay,
the movement,
make sure
but
you
then be
register. Click the
flexible
link
and aware
below
to
and
adapt to the situation.
come
Because
join us
what if you do
in
Vinga
May
Shiva and the
14th,
person does Chisora de Costa?
2022.
Yeah. And
This
what you do
amazing
after.
workshop.
Yeah,
with
I like that.
Formanda
Yeah.
Coruja.
Oh, I like that. I like the way you just said it. Nice.
Yeah.
How do you get into the making movies and be stuntman and all this kind of stuff?
I followed I still do. I followed this group on Facebook called Black Panther and Storm Appreciation Group. And
Nice.
it's just a group that will highlight generally Black artists or even PLC, people, but generally Black, like in TV, movies, comic books, generally fantasy, action, cosplay. And it just so happened they were doing a casting call for Black Panther, the
Cool.
first Black Panther movie. And they put out a call for people who are either African or African American. And if you had any sort of background in music, dance, or martial art, then that was a plus.
Yeah.
So it was interesting because the availability to go to the casting call, which is in Atlanta, right? And I'm still in the Bay Area,
Yeah.
in San Francisco. My master and a few other masters from Phyllis Ubimba, I had already brought them here for an event that was going to start next week. So I was like, dang, okay, I can leave late Saturday night, go to this audition on Sunday, and then come back early morning. And then we start the workshops like Monday evening.
Yeah.
And then because Sunday is generally the chill day when I bring guests, I generally bring them like, Thursday or Friday. We have a holiday Saturday, Sunday, everyone kind of relax and try to adapt to the time change. So I decided to go to this audition and leave my master and other teachers like, hey, Sunday, you guys just chill. Here's food in the fridge. You guys are good. All right, cool.
Be right back.
I'll be right back tomorrow. And it was good because, I went, did the audition. I ended up actually doing a capoeira demonstration. And it was just funny that
so cool, man.
None of the previous people that were there, because it was 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, and I can that no one else did any sort of capoeira presentation.
That's funny.
And I think that helped me, get a background role,
nice,
a featured background, because also we were training like choreography and stunts. So it's not like someone is at a cafe and you just happen to be one of the people just walking in the back.
Okay.
We were like training fight scenes with the Dora Milaje and things like that. And so that was my first gig, being on the set.
So cool,
Black
man.
Panther, getting to meet Chadwick Boseman.
And do you get to use capoeira in that situation?
Not per se, like in the choreography, because we all had like these African swords.
Okay.
So our choreography was like, blocking and, with the weapons play. But there were scenes when, or takes where we would surround Chadwick when he's in his Black Panther costume. And there was a few takes where he would start to do the Jenga. Move around, and just to try to like keep his eyes, on the different people who are around them. And then there was other takes where he just kind of maybe I guess like he was tired after a few. Then there was a case where he would just kind of like be in his like, just stance kind of like this. And in other ones, he would like do the Jenga and then go back,
and move around. That's so cool. I
Um,
know that he did capoeira for
yeah.
the
Mhm.
character.
Yeah, his trainer, Maurice Crump, who also has a background in capoeira and then other martial arts as well.
Okay,
Like
that's so cool, man.
implemented some capoeira into his training. There's footage of Chadwick doing some capoeira with Maurice Crump, with him to
That's
practice
so
that.
cool, man.
And the thing is that what my vision is to have a capoeira fight scene, and using all the different capoeira movements, whether it's close quarters or whether it's long range, because generally my experience and what I've seen in film is that it will be the capoeira kicks
Yeah.
and maybe a cabezada, like with the exception of Latif Crowder, Contramestre, Latif Crowder. He implements a lot of those elements.
Yeah.
I just want to build on that, where it's like, okay, what if I'm in what if we create a scenario where it's too close, I'm too close to use my legs
Yeah.
any kick. So what elements do I do? So there's capoeira joint immobilization,
Yeah.
elbows, cabeçadas, even like certain grabs as well that can be utilized in film. For example, one of the Yip Man scenes is he fights a Muay Thai practitioner in an elevator while he's trying to protect his wife, So like, oh, that's, that's cool. Just a different scenario than just like me versus you. So, even in Mestre Bimba's, the Corso de Capoeira Regional, the vinyl or the CD, has a booklet. There's movements in there from 1950 something where it shows like quebra-mão or quebra
cool. Okay.
And things like that. I can grab a photo for you real quick.
For sure, yeah.
Hopefully it shows up on the camera, but let's see here.
I love the painting in the background too.
Yeah. Oh, this here, my capoeira students painted this
no way
for me, and it was a birthday gift.
Dude, that's awesome.
It's taken, I believe, from one of like Master Accordion's like illustrations.
Yeah.
It just and put it together, and then that's like the African Sahara.
That's so cool, man.
Yeah, it was great. I was super surprised, and then like for them to put it together as well. So this
okay, I've seen that. Yeah.
And it says like with like 14 lessons and illustrations. So
and that came straight from Mr. Nenel. Mr. Nenel gave you that.
This is this originally is like Master Bimba's recordings, right? And then with the vinyl, there was a booklet that already came with it. It's just that now that it's on CD, modernized, right?
Yeah.
Then Master Nenel put like the Capoeira school logo on it and just made it a little bit more compact and modernized. But it's still the same photos and the same information.
That's dope.
So let's see. We'll do our best. So it's like here it says contra facada alta, right? So then here's like you're learning defenses from like the knives, and then here this movement, which is called contra faca baixa, and
man, that's so cool. I didn't know those kind of stuff. That's awesome. That's so cool.
The quebra-mão, where you are like breaking the hand of the other person.
Yeah.
And again, this is a booklet that's like from the 1950s. There's
takedowns
from here. This is like quebra pescoço, which is just like a type of chokehold.
Yeah.
A sote de braço, where someone goes to punch, and it's almost similar to a throw that we are most commonly aware with like judo. But that's
So I've
seen judo, but there's nothing to say that because the African civilization we know is like the oldest one.
Yeah.
So there was grappling existing in Africa a long time ago.
That's so cool. And the image of the guy on the right looks like Mestre Bimba.
Who knows? The guy that did the illustration was probably using him as the template.
Yeah,
And
yeah, because it looks big.
this is busheshu, where the
Okay.
person tries to, give you a cabezada to the face, and you kind of do this
The
movement
block,
here
yeah.
too. Yeah,
That's so
so we,
cool, man. I didn't know this kind of stuff.
yeah. So this is and I can, send you a copy, no problem.
Oh man, that
Yeah,
would be so cool, of
yeah,
course.
we have I have extras, no worries.
Oh, that would be so
Um,
cool, yeah, of course. I would
but
love that.
and share with the students, because this is also this version was like a celebration of the 100-year celebration of Capoeira Regional, because
Wow.
established it in
Yeah.
1918 until 2018. So
Wow, that's so cool. And Mason
yeah,
and Nail direct all those kind of stuff, all the celebration of the 100 years.
repeat the question, please.
The Mason and Nail direct the celebration of the
Oh
100 years.
yes, yes,
Yeah, yeah. Okay,
definitely.
that's so cool. For now that we touch base on Mr. Bimba information and all that, for the
Mhm.
bachizado was it levels, right? For graduation levels, right?
Okay, so with the bachizado, that was created by Mestre Bimba.
Yeah.
Um, the first bachizado that a student has is just playing to the rhythm of the berimbau. So let's say that I'm your student, right?
Okay.
And you teach the sequencia, because it's only one, but you teach all 8 parts, and that's what I'm training in class. All
Okay.
the kicks, the interaction, all the different movements, and then the order. And once you feel like I kind of I don't have to have it memorized like to the T, to the letter, but you feel that I understand that if the person attacks with a bainson, I know how to react. If the person attacks with a martello, I'm reacting in the way that we have in the sequence, rather than it just being a form.
Yeah.
So then at the end of a class, then you're going to pick someone who's a little bit more advanced, who can kind of guide me and kind of, for my first time playing capoeira, and you'll play samba into grande. Just the berimbau, no clapping, no panderos, no charanga, nothing like that. And the more advanced person will play with me, and just using the movements that are in the sequencia. But again, we're playing capoeira, so it's spontaneous.
Yeah.
Then after that, then after our game, that was my bachizado. And then now I'm free to play in all the other rodas that happens. I'm going to start learning other movements, rasteras, chapa, pezão, esporão, all those now, because my foundation, my ABCs, I've learned with the sequencia.
Yeah.
Then after continuous training, then we'll have a festa de batizado. And that's when you receive your nome de guerra, or your, warrior name.
Okay.
So with that, it's like basically a party. We just have a roda, all the students, maybe even invite other capoeira schools, and we just have a roda. Now, when it comes to the students who need to get their nickname, they either will, if there's, if it's an even number, they'll play with each other.
Okay.
Or they, again, will just play with maybe an advanced person. And then after the game is over, then they'll get their hand raised, and then someone will be like, Malandro. And then everyone applauds. And then now
that's so
at that
cool.
point, I'm known as Malandro.
Yeah.
That's like the event, with the first bachizado, that's very informal, kind of personal.
Okay.
Just at the end of any class.
It was mostly like a welcome to the class and welcome to the community for
exactly
to call it. Yeah.
And then also with that is with these traditions, these rituals.
Yeah.
It kind of keeps the community of the school tight knit, because everyone is there for your milestone progressions.
Okay.
So, I'm the beginner, and everyone kind of knows that because they were there training with me, but they let me do my bachizado at the end of class. Then they were there for me to receive my nickname, and so it's like, oh, I remember when you first started playing capoeira,
Yeah. That's so cool, man. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for getting this far. Remember, please subscribe, give us a thumbs up on Facebook or YouTube. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. This is going to help us and help me to get bigger numbers and bigger subscribers, so we can give more information. Okay, please, if you're listening, I know you're listening, I know you're watching, please give me a subscribe, give me a like. Okay, I know you're watching right here or listening. All right, have an amazing day. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening every single episode, especially the episode we just did. All right, thank you so much. Peace.